go show you my happy place. Your gardens are about sound, sight, when you look, kind of the flowers. And then gardens are also about smell. The smell of jasmine makes one very happy. We bought a derelict house, and the house came with a tennis court that was also very dilapidated. Didn't look like anybody had played tennis there before. The attraction with your dad was because I used to play tennis for a club, and he had this vision of redoing the tennis court so that we could play tennis. But I'd grown out of tennis. I had other ideas. It was such a nice, intense space, and I wanted to turn it into a vegetable garden with some flowers so there's a little bit of color. My mother used to have a small little patch in our home in Atteridgeville. She and her friends used to have a seed exchange program, and I was always so fascinated by the beauty of her garden, but also so attracted to the fact that she was able to feed us from that garden. Growing up, my grandmother always used to first go to the African traditional herb to heal things like mumps, tonsillitis, flu. From watching her, I learned which herbs and which plants have got healing powers. When your soil has got this, you know your soil is very healthy. I'm so sorry that I never actually wrote down the list of the plants, but I know what they look like and I know their African names. But it's so rewarding to see that those things that, and I'm ashamed to say that we were looked down upon because we kind of thought that was too traditional for us. We wanted Western medicine. I'm glad that I paid attention because now you're seeing this traditional healing methods being revived almost as if it's something that has just been invented by the Western world. And that's what I grew up with. That's how I was made to feel better when I was sick. All that my grandmother did was go into the garden, come back with some leaves, some herbs, and boil them into a tea, and I would drink that and feel a lot better. They sell this at Woolies for about 15 Rand just for this. Look how much I've got. Smells gorgeous. Smell that. Ooh. And I'm trying to do that with my children so that they get to respect the traditional way of healing, because these plants are exactly where the modern day tablets are based on. But because previously they were used by uneducated, rural, mainly African women, we didn't put any value in them. It's only when the Western world started saying, well, this is something that's worth treasuring, that we are beginning to go back to it. Knowledge keepers in the system were the women, mainly. In my family, it was my grandmother. And incidentally, she passed it on through the female line. I don't think my uncles actually even remember the herbs that she used, but my mother did. And it's from learning from my grandmother to my mother to me, and hopefully I will pass that on to my children who are interested in learning about that. So which is why the garden is structured the way that it is, that has got both the plants that feed but also the plants that heal. You learn from watching, you learn from being interested, and kind of learning from those knowledge keepers. And the sadness is that if we do not document this, because it's passed down through oral history, we may run the risk of losing those plants. We also need to ensure that we create a seed bank. Those can be preserved for the future generation. I think we've just hit, kind of touched the tip of the iceberg with these healing plants, medicinal African plants, that we need to protect that knowledge.